Had a great Christmas. Wonderful seeing all the family.
Atta baby.
All callers are muted.
All right, good morning, everybody. It's the Hair on Fire call, and you're darn right we don't sleep in on Monday. Oh, man alive, I got like 20 emails from people. Are we having the Hair on Fire call this week? You're darn tootin' we like Fig Newtons. Of course we're having them. We have to have it. There is no waiting around, man. You are going double diamond. You're going Fiji. You're going Tahiti. You're doing triple diamond by March. That means we don't take this week off, and that means we do take our teams with us during this week. So this week, you are getting people up and at them. They're thinking about how they're going to pay off those credit card bills. Now is the time to get those people on their horse. They got a little time to think about it. Christmas is out of the way, and it's time to go. Abraham Lincoln, lawyer, senator, president, one of America's greatest leaders. Abraham Lincoln lost 8 elections. Despite those defeats, he became the 16th president of the United States and held the country together during the bloodshed of the Civil War. Today, there is a phrase for it: political suicide. It's what happens when you say something that most people disagree with. In 1858, while Abraham Lincoln was trying to get elected to the United States Senate, Stephen Douglas represented most people. Douglas said that blacks had no rights. He said the promise of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness did not apply to them. The Supreme Court of the United States agreed, but Abraham Lincoln didn't. Lincoln stood up. He spoke his mind, and then he lost the election. He was sent home with nothing. It was political suicide, but it was worth it. He said, "I'm not bound to win, but I am bound to be true. I am not bound to succeed, but I am bound to live by the light that I have. I must stand with anybody that stands right, and stand with him while he is right, and part with him when he goes wrong." That's what I'm talking about here. How strong is your conviction? Do you believe what is coming out of your mouth, no matter what somebody says back to you? That's all you've got to decide. Do you believe what's coming out of your mouth? Because if you do, people are going to follow you. People are going to look at your stand. They can look at the USA Today. They can look at scamwatch.com. They can look at anything, and they can come loaded with their ammunition. But if you've got your convictions about your 4 leaders and your team and longevity in this profession, there is nothing that is going to rip it asunder. And you might have to part ways with some people that you didn't want to part ways with because they did not get it. But do you know what? At the end of the day, it will be worth it. It will be bigger than you've ever thought possible. Because as a team, linked together, arm in arm, you people are stronger than any one person out there. And when you start building organizations just like the organization, the Hair on Fire team that we've got on this call, there is no stopping us. There's no stopping us. All I'm looking for in the year 2010 are 10 people who want to be mentored deeply. All I'm looking for in 2011 are 10 people who want to be mentored deeply, who will mentor their teams deeply. That's all you need to think about, is taking it to the next level. How are you going to mentor your teams deeply? How are you going to have those people know that you've got a stand that is so much bigger than any excuses anybody can bring to the table? I'm not on the call today, Tom. It's too cold outside. We've got 16 inches of snow here in New York City. You know what? Barry fought through the snow. He fought through the sleet. He fought through it. All the way across that apartment, he grabbed his telephone and he dialed in. Barry from New York City, deep in the heart of Manhattan, did not let that snow this morning slow him down. He got on his horse and he got on this call. I see up in Idaho, Brian McCoy is here. Deep snow up there too. Guess what? Nothing's stopping him. Diamond Executive, Chicago, Illinois. Deep snow there. We've got Robert Beck. Nothing's stopping him. And then there's good weather. Lots of people say, well, I can't work today. It's too nice a day. I got to go goof around. We got people calling in from Hawaii and California and all those places where it never is bad. But do you know what? That stops them sometimes because there's too many other things to do. So what I want to tell you today is reevaluate your stand. Reevaluate your cause. Look at what you're really doing this for and see if you really believe what's coming out of your mouth. Because if you do, you're going to fly over to Utah. You're going to have a training for your team. You're going to have everybody there instead of having bonbons and stuff like that for 6 days in a row because it's the holiday week. You're going to say, let's use Tuesday night and have a big training for our team here. You're going to do the same thing in Longmont, Colorado. You'll do it in Chicago. You'll do it in New York. You're going to do it down in San Diego and up in Boise. That's that simple. Why? Because you said so. Your stand said so. Nothing's going to stop you from your cause. What's going on in Little Rock, Arkansas with Charlie and Darren and those guys? Those guys are aligned on a cause, and there's nothing that's going to stop them. And looking people straight in the eye and saying, listen, you're either going to be part of this or you're not. It doesn't matter that you don't agree with me. If you don't, it doesn't mean I don't love you. It just means I've got something to do in life. And I'll see you later. I'll see you at Thanksgiving. I'll see you at Christmas. But right now, in between, I've got work to do. And today, we've got work to do. Today, we've got a big message to get out. Today, we've got to get the year 2011 launched here in this last week of 2010. You've got to hit the ground running with those 4 people that you are going to lock arms with and take yourself to Kona Double Diamond at the convention in March. How do you do that? You start right now. You start interviewing 2 people. You 3-way one, and you train like crazy. Paul Gregory called me yesterday, said, I'm bored to death. I said, that's perfect. Let's interview 2 people. Let's 3-way one, and let's go train some people. There's no reason to be bored. There's always something to do. And when you make it important enough, I'll guarantee you it will be important enough. There will be no stopping you because you're going to know it works. You're going to know people believe you believe it works, and then you're going to see people believing it works and teaching their people that it works. And once you create a little tiny bit of this duplication, it's the greatest rush of all time because you're starting to create something that's got its own legs, it's got its own wheel, it's got its own life, and that's when you get it. But you've got to be like Abraham Lincoln. You've got to believe it yourself first. You've got to believe it in the face of the United States Senate telling you what they're saying is opposite what you believe, and you still make a stand for that. Look what Dr. Wallach did when he sued the FDA. The government said, here's what's going on with selenium. Here's what's going on with lycopene. Here's what's going on with trace minerals. And Dr. Wallach said, no, sir. I'm going to use my money. I'm going to use Jonathan Emord, and I'm going to take these guys to task because I believe that you are not correct, sir. And that's what you have to look at today. Your life is going to work when you start believing your convictions and taking other people with you. It is a great Monday, the best Monday ever because it's today. So you take today and make it absolutely awesome, you guys. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Let's have some fun today. Let's make it a fantastic day after Christmas Monday morning.